Hey guys, so we are back with Dragonflight Legacies, Chapter 2. Um, let's see what this one says. Dormu transports Emberthal, the Drakthir warrior, back in time to witness crucial moments in the history of the dragon aspects. A cautionary tale, both corruption and sacrifice. So, here we go.
What is your name, child?
Emberthal, a commander of the Drakthir. You know of us?
You are a race of fierce warriors, unlike anything Azeroth has seen in many an age. In time, you may become as mighty as we once were.
Once? What happened?
The desire for power carries peril. We were blind to the darkness in our midst. Behold, the Dragon Isles. In the time after our ascension, we aspects sought to create a beacon of hope for all the world.
Beautiful. Neltharion, my general.
Indeed, we all had our roles to play. Guided by Alexstrasza, our conscience, our heart, we all became as close as clutchmates, or so it seemed. For we could not hear the whispers of corruption that tempted one of our own. When demons invaded our world, we aspects went forth to protect it as we always had. Not knowing whether we would ever again see the shores of home. Our brother Neltharion led our defense against the invaders. But for the first time, we found our strength inadequate, and we grew desperate. So when Neltharion assured us that with our help he could forge a weapon to win the war, we placed our trust in him. And we renewed our battle against the demons, only to have Neltharion, who now took the name Deathwing, turn on his own kind. We could not foresee this betrayal, for we simply did not want to believe. Even after all this time, the pain of his treachery is far worse than the scars he left us with.
That is not the leader I remember. How do I know it was not you who provoked him?
You missed much during your confinement, but the sands of time reveal all truths, child, even bitter ones. Trust your eyes. When the champions of Azeroth faced Deathwing for the last time, he was so consumed by madness that he could not imagine what we would sacrifice to stop him. That the weapon we had helped him forge would become the means of his destruction.
Was there no other way?
Deathwing would have destroyed this world. To stop him, we aspects relinquished our power, our immortality, our guardianship of Azeroth itself. A fair trade, I believe.
You want something from me, don't you?
It is my gift and my burden to travel the pathways of time. But there is one crucial moment that has long remained hidden from me. And only you can lead me there.
Ooh, foreshadowing. Okay, so yeah, told about Deathwing, the Earth Warder. So they were all given in the first one. For people who don't know, the aspects after defeating Galakrond with the help of Keeper Tyr, they were blessed by, we're told, the Titans, given intelligence and essentially guardianship over Azeroth to protect it. And each one of them was given a certain thing to protect, to look over. It was Dormu was given the power over time, to see the time waves, the past, present, future, pretty much all simultaneously, every outcome, every possibility. He was blessed by Aman'Thul, who is the head of the Pantheon, who is also like the Titan of time and stuff like that. So Nozdormu controls the time waves, and he just kind of keeps track of all of them, make sure there's no funny business going on. Malygos was given guardianship of arcane magic, very powerful magic. Of course, Malygos kind of went crazy, thinking that other people didn't deserve it, that it should all be his and the blue Dragonflight, and so we ended up taking him out. Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder, protects all life. Her flames can pretty much give life, can burn away corruption. Pretty cool. Ysera was put in charge of the Emerald Dream with the green Dragonflight. So they sleep a lot of the time to stay immersed in the dream. The dream is like parallel to Azeroth. It's kind of like what they say is a blueprint of what Azeroth would have been had no living life forms, or intelligent life forms corrupted it. It's lush and green, and there's animals there that don't exist anymore. And then Neltharion was given control of pretty much Azeroth itself, the deepest places of the earth, protection over the land. But because he had that connection to the land, he was more susceptible to the whisperings of the old gods that were in prison there. Particularly one in particular, N'Zoth, who whispered a little louder than the others, to say the least. You still had the old gods, Yogg-Saron, Cthulhu. Y'Shaarj was dead at this point. Y'Shaarj was killed when Aman'Thul ripped him out of the fucking planet. But being the Earth Warder, he had more of a connection to the planet, and so the whisperings became louder and louder, and eventually drove him to madness. But during you saw with the Dragon Soul, that's a great picture. Yeah, during the war, he basically said, "Yeah, I've got this cool item here, and I think we can use it. So all you guys got to do is just pour your power into it." And of course, he didn't pour his power into it. And they questioned it. It's like, well, why aren't you? I'm the one using it. Silly Sally's? I'm the one using it. I don't have to do it. I'm the one who created this amazing item. So just all you aspects, everyone, yeah, Malygos, yeah. Those Dormu, yeah, all you guys, just pour your power into this thing. And then he was like, psych! And he basically fucked him over. Like the good person he is. But just seeing him without the giant plate. So for people who don't know, because he had the power of the earth and he was been corrupted and this and that, he had so much power that his body was literally falling apart. Like, he had so much power that his body was falling apart due to how much pressure it was causing. So they had to plate him up. So his jaw, his back, sides. They had to plate him up all over because his body was falling apart. His due to the immense power that he had. So it's fucking crazy how powerful this dude was. And then we finally, when we beat him in Cataclysm, because he had burst from Deep Home and threatened to destroy everything. So we had to kind of go into the past because we didn't have the dragon soul. So we had to go into the past. And you know, we traveled from, you know, the dungeons were really, really cool because it showed you past, present, future. It showed you end time where Deathwing was impaled on Wormrest Temple, which was amazing. But then we traveled back to the past or to the future and we helped Thrall. And then we finally go to the raid, and it takes a while to get to Deathwing because he's a final boss. But it's basically an assault on Wormrest. You got old god and minions of the old gods, airship battle, and then finally Deathwing himself, where we're riding on his back and corruption is all over the place. His little tentacles, and then finally we have to defeat the madness itself. He falls into the maelstrom, and he emerges as this giant molten tentacled beast that is just uncontrollable because he's lost all sense of himself. He's given in to all the chaos, all the whispers, all the madness, all the power, and he's just unleashed himself. So we finally finish him off with the help of the aspects. We finish him off, and you know, but he's in the during his time and all that, he also had experiments that he was doing, like Nefarian. He was doing stuff with that. Nefarian was doing a lot of experiments as well. But yeah, Deathwing was a huge problem. He really was. And if he had not been taken care of, he probably could have done what Galakrond could have, where he could have destroyed Azeroth. And I mean, Neltharion has been to Outlands, so it's not impossible for them to travel. Like I said, Sinestra, she's somewhere out there in the cosmos. We don't know where she is. She's out there somewhere. So just because they're dragons, they can still travel planet to planet. So he was named the World Breaker because he did kind of break the world. You know, the Destroyer of Worlds. You know, he called himself the Cataclysm because that's what he could do. So if he was able to succeed on Azeroth, there's no telling what he could have done if he traveled throughout the cosmos to other planets. I don't think even the Burning Legion would have been able to stand much of a chance against him. Maybe, you know, Sargeras would have probably had to shown up and put him in his place. But as for Kil'jaeden, Archimonde, the other, you know, any other generals, lieutenants, no, they would have fallen. This guy would have just fucking pummeled them into oblivion. So it would have taken Sargeras himself to put this guy down. Because there most likely wouldn't have been a being in the cosmos who could stop this guy. But and then with the end, saying that she has something that, you know, a memory or something that he's looking for that she can lead him to. I mean, hopefully that's in chapter 3. We know Nosdormu eventually goes bad. He's Breaking Bad. We know that he eventually becomes Murozond. He saw his death, and you know, eventually he just falls to the madness and becomes Murozond. Creates the infinite Dragonflight, and they've been mucking around time waves and all the way back in Burning Crusade. They were mucking around with things, and that's the Bronze Dragonflight. That's what they're so focused on now. Not only do they have to control the time waves, but now they've got the infinite Dragonflight to have to worry about. You know, anytime they see a disturbance, like, okay, what are those fuck stains up to now? So they have the infinite Dragonflight we have to take. They have to take care of. We have to deal with them. We've already killed Murozond once, but it's bound to happen because it was more like the future version of him, kind of like we met the future version of ourselves in So it's still to happen. So Murozond, this Nozdormu that we see right now, he's still going to fall to madness, and he's still going to become Murozond. We just don't know when. People are thinking this expansion, something's going to happen in this expansion, and he will become Murozond. And he's going to take off, and we're going to have to defeat him. That whole Murozond thing was back in Cataclysm. So the Cataclysm, Pandaria, Warlords, Legion, Battle for Azeroth, Shadowlands, and now we're about 7 expansions in. So I think maybe it could be time for him to turn to Murozond. Because once he does, he will become a threat. And it's not going to be as easy as going to end time and beating him. So I think he's going to be more of a threat, but people think he's going to turn into Murozond sometime during this expansion. But since expansions only have like 1 or 2 patches now, like 1 or 2, like maybe 2.5. But to know what kind of role she plays and what she knows, or that really is helpful to him, yeah, I would love to know, and hopefully that's explained in the next one. I really love the art, the voices, the depictions of past events that we may not have gotten to see. Or if we have, they were in game or in a book, so we're getting to see them. Of course, the Deathwing stuff we got to see. We got to go back into the past and not only relive it, but we were also there when he was defeated. But to see in this art style, it's really nice. I mean, this really is a cautionary. It really is. It is a cautionary tale of what happens when you give yourself into the darker parts, where you let the power go to you. You betray everyone who's trying to help. Like I said, this guy's like, oh yeah, just pour your power into this thing. And then he betrays them. So, he was given charge of the earth itself. That power got to him because, whispers and... I mean, it's not really his fault in a way, because again, he was more sensitive to that stuff because he was essentially the earth itself. So you have all these evil old gods locked up inside this planet. So their whisperings are going to be louder to him, and they're going to be more, he's going to be more sensitive. So in a way, you can blame him, but it's kind of like a Garrosh thing where he might have been corrupted at some point, but in the end, I think he kind of chose his own path where he's like, oh yeah, this feels really good, I like evil, and then he just kind of went with it. So it is a cautionary tale. It was a shame, we just had to keep killing off all these dragons. We had to take out a fucking Malagos because he went fucking crazy with power. We had to take out fucking Deathwing, Neltharion, because he went crazy with power. And as we know, Murozond is going to emerge eventually, where he goes fucking, Nozdormu goes crazy. And we're going to have to take him out. Ysera has basically already died and come back. So, Alexstrasza, baby, we love you. Don't do anything cray-cray. Seriously. Just stay pure the way you are. Just stay in your little Wormrest temple and have your consorts and just... I think she's less prone to corruption due to being a Lifebinder, but... and Kalik. Alagos. We also have Wrathion, which people are on the fence about. It's like, is he good? Is he just looking out for self-interest? Is he really caring about us? Or is he just because he's a black dragon and he's connected to the planet itself? But Deathwing, one of the coolest characters. Unfortunately, the raid wasn't very great. Great loot, though. Some of the coolest looking freaking transmog to come out of that place, but the raid itself wasn't very good. But it was connected to the rogues, the daggers, with the fangs of the father or something like that. So you kind of had to go keep doing it. But anyway, yeah, so that was chapter 2. Also, common question, I guess. Did you like Dragon Soul, the actual raid? And if so, who was your favorite boss to beat? And were you one of those people that had to do it all the time to get those freaking things for the legendary quest line? Let me know below. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.